Officially, good morning. Welcome to the Options Income Launchpad Tuesday opening bell. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. Craig said I've always had to toggle back and forth. If it says I'm going, I go back to the main page and re-click on live session. Yeah, it's so weird because we had the whole issue where you couldn't, which led to this current structure where I literally had to you guys all probably remember getting tons of emails from me when I was canceling and then creating new sessions. But I tried to give our sessions 1 year time frame so I didn't have to do that again. But that's what led to this was people weren't able to join via their phones. Yeah, I love Circle. I think it's got a great platform, but there are definitely some hiccups. So does it feel like it's friction or just a minor pain where you're it's nothing, don't worry about it? I can dive back in and see is there something better we can do to make joining, saving? You guys tell me, because I don't want friction. I'm not that kind of guy. It's against my code. David Wilson says not a big deal. Okay, if it's not, then just keep pinging me if something happens. If it ever becomes a nuisance, an issue, just every time I mention it, everyone else is like, oh yeah, no, I do this or I have this, and if it gets to a point where phone app is direct access, easy, okay, all right. Well, thanks for keeping me up to date, you guys. I might just take a peek during the Christmas break when I have some extra time to, see if there's a better way and start the new year a different way. I don't know. We'll see. My name is Scott. I'll be your host. It's a little past 9:15. That's all right. Keep in mind what we do is education and illustrative purposes only. Nothing intended to be a recommendation to buy or sell. We're not brokers or advisors. Therefore, we do not give personalized investment advice. Decisions made should be at your own risk. The rest is all there for you. Okay, what are we going to do today? Let's talk about the opening analysis. Interesting day yesterday. You might have been like, oh, Scott, the trade alert. I would have thought you were going into tech. I got to say, tech had me a little wary. Anybody else? These big moves with little volumes. And I was like, I don't love that. I gotta say, I was leaning more towards the one I took, obviously, or possibly financials or possibly industrials. I was looking at the tech and I was thinking, man, I don't want to, jump in and have this thing reverse. It kind of feels like it was a hollow pop. We'll talk about that. But if we see increased enthusiasm, maybe we do put a financials or an industrials trade on. Maybe tech is just going through a little bit of a volatility shake, and we'll see what happens there. But it was an interesting day for sure yesterday. If you did not take the trade yesterday, it's fully viable today. Had a minor, it just sort of eased back a few cents at the end of the day. It looks like it's set to open positively today. Yes. Okay. We'll go through the rest of this mindset for open trades. We'll review our opportunity list. We'll explore those setups. And we'll continue talking about routines, trading plan section of the week. Here's the progress. Today I was given a soft neck brace. They're like, wear this for a week as needed at home. Definitely if you go out. Because they don't want me to get jostled or something. And so I'm like, all right. It's 1 week as of tomorrow. So I'll still wear it today and tomorrow if I go out. But I'm like, no, I'm going to sit without it today. My neck's feeling a little stronger already. Trying to develop a little more stamina. I'll be honest. We did our session yesterday, and then I did the trade alert and a couple things in the afternoon, and then I, walked around, and then the night hit, and I was like, oh shit, I'm tired. took some pain meds and went to bed. But better and better, feeling it. Okay, let's get into it. Let's start here. Here's the trade alert. This was, and this is the funny thing. I laughed about this morning because this stayed. We still have our cross down here, but technically I wanted this to close above that range right there. And in fact, if you go look at the actual alert, you don't even have to, whoops, that's not it. What did I do with it? Hold on. Okay. And okay. If you look, I said 1353, which was what? Just above the high, no, not the high, the close of Monday's candle. What day is today? Friday's candle. This was Friday. This was yesterday, and here's today. So that's to orient myself. So if you look at this, the high there, the close there was 1352. And I'm like, all right, as long as we stay above 1353, and it literally fell below like the last minute. So that's going to happen. Right? Let's even go to a 1 minute chart. Everything was looking fine, and then it just sort of dropped a little bit down into that. I'm okay with that. I don't think that was like, oh, the last minute, the buyers changed their minds. Boop. And there we go. So, yeah, for me, still, medical miracle, David. I don't know about that. I don't feel like a medical miracle. Yeah. So I would say this is still viable. If you look at the setup we have right now, it's going to look pretty similar to this and this and this and this and this. Those all look the same, right? And we got boom, and we got boom, and we got boop. This one was meh. We might get a meh. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'd rather get one of these that we've already gotten, including. I'm not going to include this one because this was earnings, but it did have the same setup and signal. So, what's the pattern? We've got, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 5. Only one of them didn't work great. You would have probably broke even on this trade. Okay, there it is. That's the signal. And we have an ability to now reevaluate, see what else we want. Let's see if we can go find something else. Let's take a quick peek. What's going on in here? U.S. retail sales miss in first glimpse of consumer spending in months. What was the miss? Oh gosh. They're putting the Christmas bag. They're like, oh, Christmas spending is down. Was it? We went from 0.3 to 0.2. That was September's report. Not October's. It's not Christmas spending. And retail sales minus autos was flat, or was as expected. Now, they both came down from 0.6. Right? They both came down from 0.6. But That's okay. What else? What else did we get? We're not talking about this. Core PPI dropped to 0.1. PPI year over year, 2.7. Year over year for core, 2.9, as expected. So the good news is, and I would expect that this is going to kick our expectations for a rate cut from it dropped down to 40%, and then within a week it shot back to 70 something percent. Well, if inflation is not problematic, and the expectations that the labor market are, and there's definitely, we don't have data for it necessarily, but we do have anecdotal stories to process. In that case, I would say that really opens it up for the Fed. Let's see if I'm right. Let's go take a peek. Let me reload. Oh, we are 2 weeks and a day away. 2 weeks and a day away. Let's go see what we have. As expected, we shot up to 85 now. This thing just keeps on going. At one point, it dropped down to 40. This is just like a month ago, it was 90%, dropped to 50%, dropped to 40%, and then back up to 80, now 85%. Okay, well, that's helpful. If we did not get that cut, it would have shattered anything Santa related that we may. You know what? I don't think so, David. I think at this point I'm moving into the yes cut. I've seen a couple more of the central or sub or vice chairs or whatever the different voting members are that are like, yeah, maybe we hit it again, and then we go meeting to meeting, which means wait a few in the first couple of months of 2026. So I think, yes, it's likely to get the cut. You can see that the market is now back into, this is 5-1 expectations, better than 5-1, almost 6-1. And I think that's a great question. I'm not sure. It's also delayed, but I think they're going to try to do some catching up like they are here. And so, yeah, I'm not sure. That's I don't know if we can see that far out. And remember, we still don't have October's jobs reports, when we should next week be getting November's jobs reports. Still don't have October's. But sales were down a little. PPI came in at or better than expected. Consumer confidence doesn't come out till 10. Okay, so that's the news today. Tomorrow we'll get jobless claims, and for whatever anyone else says about the jobless claim or the labor market. Until I see jobless claims over 250 3 weeks in a row, so right, 260, 270 3 weeks in a row, I think we're going to at least be stable. Okay. What else do we have this week? The beige book, that could be a little bit enlightening, but I think at this point there's a very good chance 2 weeks we get that final cut, but we'll see. Obviously, Thursday is closed. We won't have anything on Thursday. So here's how it works. Wednesday, markets close early. 1 p.m. close tomorrow. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Wednesday closes early. Thursday, no market. Friday is a full day. The volume will be light, but whoever comes to show up, buyers or sellers, there's a very good chance they can push it. It'll be an interesting day. Okay. Did I miss anything over here? NVIDIA falls as Google challenges. Oh, Google. Very nice. Love Google. Don, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I'll be in a turkey coma as well. Love it. Coal stock soars as results beat. So that's sort of in that retail, that spending space, I think, to some extent. All right. Oil tumbles on report. Ukraine agrees to most of the peace deal. Let's reload this. And S&P is up a little bit. Dow is up 0.67. NASDAQ is down 0.3. Russell's up 2%. So what are we seeing? We're seeing small caps starting to reinvigorate with the expectations of a rate cut that is certainly favorable to their business climate. Satish says Real is going up. Also, Satish, I don't think I've ever said hello to you. I don't, as a new member, welcome. Amazing to have you. Glad to meet you. I've missed some things due to what I would like to call a medical hiccup. It's a hiccup. It's fine. Anyways, yeah, look at that. We're going. You had time. You had time to get it on. Now it's moving. That's still fine. Still viable. Looking like we want it to look. Okay, let's go through a couple of other things. Let me get my watch list ready. I'm having a breakfast of coffee and protein. I've had to increase my protein uptake while not increasing my calories. So I've got these Premier Proteins from Costco. You guys ever had those? They're not bad. Chocolate peanut butter is my favorite. Okay. Apple. Okay. I saw this and this was on Friday, and then yesterday we're like, well, it got to it. Now it looks like it's trying to get through it. So well done, Apple. If anyone took that one, I applaud you. It certainly was viable. Held support. Made the turn. AMKR was one we were looking at. It's a little bit of a pause today. Amazon we were not looking at. I got to tell you, APH was on my list, and I was just like, I don't know. Held off a little bit. I should scan through the names. Is there anyone else new that I'm missing? I can't see anyone else. If you are relatively new, reach out right now. Say hello so I can know. ASX. Nah, not yet. It's pulling back. I was a little worried about this one being more a consolidation than a pullback, right? It did stay above the 50, but that's a pretty big consolidation. What does that mean? Well, I might rather wait to see it pop, which means I'm not going to take the first trade. And then I'm going to wait for the first pullback and then see if I can't catch it as it regains and tests the pop itself. That right there is my wheelhouse. We've claimed this as our group pattern. We own it. I copyrighted it. It's ours. So some people didn't know that, but it's true. AVGO. So there was a lot of this yesterday. We got these 6, 7, 8% candles. I'll tell you, I'm not going to really ever do anything with that. I do not like to enter if I'm looking for a certain move and I've given up half of it on the entry. It's frustrating because you're watching, you're waiting, and then all of a sudden it's like, blew right by me. It's like, if you've ever been in a city with metros or subways or undergrounds or whatever, sometimes there's trains that don't stop at stops, right? It just blows right by. It's the same thing. It's not like you're like, no, I'm going to jump on that train. I want to be. It blew by. Nothing you can do. Watch it go by. AXP. Okay, so I said no to AXP. I didn't like how much this drop was, which means what? Which means our trade is lingering out here, ready for us. It's just like, hey, come on down. We're waiting for you. We're waiting for you to come on and visit us. BAC. Okay, so I know that it has this candle with a shadow on it there. I was thinking about BAC yesterday. If anyone took it, I was thinking about it too. And I'm still thinking about it today. What would I have the ability to do here? I can change this. This is the first Heiken Ashi candle. Yesterday would have been catch the bounce. Today would be the continuation, which means I could put my stop not down here underneath the lows, but here underneath yesterday's low. And just have a different, risk management perspective coming into this thing. I think this looks quite viable and a potential for a trade alert today. So there you go. Tell me if you disagree. You guys are quiet today. Everyone feeling all right? No one's been through some crazy surgery lately, and that's why you're quiet, have you? Okay. BE. No, there's nothing here. This might get booted from the list. This is a new one. We never traded it. David Wilson scanning the watch list. If you're working, great. Valid excuse. Satish is in the holiday mood. Yeah, Santa rally, right? We're all there. I'm with you on that one. I've decided I will be going Black Friday shopping. Heck yeah, I'm going out for that. Yeah, what do we need? The pattern. We need the pattern to happen from here. I am not trying to find the low of this and catch the turn. You've been watching that low and turn for a week and a half. If you were going to do that, it would have been back here. And that did not come to fruition. Therefore, it now must do this. It has become persona non grata, and it must pay penance, which looks like this. Easy peasy. Okay. Citi. That's why I was leaning more towards Bank of America than Citi, because really been quite flat. Never broke support, hovering around the 50. I get all that, but it also is not moving either. Caterpillar. Caterpillar was trying to be like, hey, look. And then today, no. CIEN, also big turn yesterday, pause today. CLS, big turn yesterday, pause today. Coherent. Someone took this early. They had a good catch. They had it like here. So it should be profitable for you, but had a great day yesterday. Pulled back a little bit today. Good aggressive entry. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. Credo. This is a new one as well. Hasn't done much. It's got earnings this week. I don't know. It might not last through the week. We might do a Thanksgiving purge of our watch list to clean out a few things that are Maybe we'll wait to see what starts to pop, and then the rest of it we can start to get rid of. I still am looking for Cisco. You'll notice Cisco is still kind of finding its way on the stochastics. It had a great earnings report, popped up, got up here, starting to make this pullback. So this could pull back a little bit more. Old resistance, new support. So, as long as it holds 75 and then we catch this turn, I believe there's still a trade for us in Cisco. I'm going to be patient and I'm going to wait for my pitch. This is not my pitch. I'm not swinging at this. It's outside and low. You can't hit that. Nothing good there. Delta. I mean, it got to the top of the channel, but it's just this little channel here. The Dow. I'm glad. So there was some hints of defensiveness through here that have subsided now through here that I'm happy to see from a broader market standpoint. I'm going to pop to the IWM just for context. Whereas now this is trying to fight its way back up. Right? You can kind of see what I mean. Like this was struggling and then the Dow was increasing. That's not conducive to full bullish conditions, to risk on conditions, right? JCI still viable, still holding. I still like industrials, but not until we break. I would say 115. If this holds and it looks like this today, and then tomorrow we bust above 115, boom, game on. 115. That's my number for JCI. Lumentum. Someone talked about it yesterday. It was just, it's been so volatile. Yeah. It's chopping around. It's still bullish though. LRCX. So there's a lot of this where it was like finding this support right at or around the 50. It turned, this turned, but it's coming down now. So if we see this, once you draw this line, once you draw that, then it's persona non grata, right? Then it's like, hey, you can't just think, well, then next time. No, once I put the consolidation cap on it, it's got to bust up, come back, and that's the only thing I would trade, right? That's the only thing I would trade. I'm not sure. This is right on the bubble for me. Macy's. Woo. I feel like retail, right? Consumer discretionary is doing okay. Macy's definitely had a big one. This was Friday. Yesterday it was holding. So this would have been, let me show you this as a continuation. Now it's too late for a continuation. Nope. Now, that's that first white candle. That's the bounce signal. That's the continuation signal. This is now it's kind of like you're a little bit chasing. So a lot of times when people say, well, am I chasing this? I like to be in on either the last red. This is Heiken Ashi, remember. Last red, first white, first momentum. What is a momentum candle? Bigger candle, no lower shadow. This is the second momentum candle. By the time I see the second momentum candle, I start thinking, you know what? I feel like I'm chasing this thing. It's an easy way for me to sort of discern if it's there or not there. Nice representation of that. Macy's again, Holiday spending. I feel like it's coming. MasterCard now. Please explain again about candles. Of course I will. I'll also go back and look at Lilly. I didn't see that. Sorry, my friend. Eli Lilly and Company. Woo! Oh, that's a big leader in the healthcare space. Yeah, I probably should have. Every time I find momentum in healthcare and then I take the time to search and then I put it on, I swear I'm always like, I am the end of the healthcare rally. Because by the time I go through it and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of healthcare or healthcare stocks. You guys ever have that where like you have a certain stock or a certain group that no matter what, you just, you don't trade it well. So you sort of just, I'm the same way with precious metals. So I'm just like, okay. I can either like fight to, I want to get that last little, or I can just be like, whatever. But I still sometimes do it. But it's funny because I'll search and I'll put them on my list and then I'll take the trade and then the whole group falls apart. So if you want the healthcare rally to end, just tell me when to run a search and put them on our list. That'll be the end of it. There's really no signal here. This is a runaway freight train. This is the train that's just passing every stop and it's going to, I don't know. It does look strong. I hope you're in it for a while. How about that? Okay. Back to Macy's. Now, you guys know I love Heiken Ashi candles, but they're not my default candle. They cannot be. Heiken Ashi is an indicator. What do you mean by an indicator, Scott? Here's what I mean. At least 4 of you asked that simultaneously. I could sense it. You didn't type it, but I could feel it. An indicator is anything calculated. Moving average, 50, 100, 200. All calculation required. Take the last 50 days, add them up, divide it by 50, plot the line. Take the last 100 days, add them up, divide it by 100. These are actually exponential, so there's a little bit more of a nuance to that. That would be a simple moving average, but I don't want to go through the details of the exponential. Stochastic, 7 days, 3 days. It takes the calculation over 7, takes it over 3, plots the 2 lines. Implied volatility is an extreme calculation. The Heiken Ashi candles are calculated. Standard candles are just price action. Open, low, high, close. Bottom of the, if it's a white box, bottom is the open. Top is the close. Upper shadow is the high, lower shadow is the low. If it's a red candle, reverse the high and the low. Open is at the top, close is at the bottom. Yeah, that's what we're seeing there. What does the Heiken Ashi do? Changes it to a calculation. This is calculated. The open of any given candle is always drawn at the midpoint of the prior candle body. Which means that if this was my candle for day, I could put my mouse right in the middle. That's where the next one's going to open. Exactly there. The high or the low is the other extreme is the average of the day. Average of the previous candle body, average of the day, calculated. And then we still have the shadows are accurate. Those are actually the high and actually the lows. So that's why I like them, is because they smooth out the data. But back to what I was saying. When I'm looking at the Heiken Ashi, my objective when entering trades is to catch the last red candle. And people are like, how do you know it's the last red candle? That's the point, you don't. Right? But you can start to pick up on what would make it. That last red candle happens exactly here when this is turning, is actually on standard candles, a white candle. Boop. See that? So that's how we can do that. That's how. Last red, first white, at the very latest, first momentum. Now, when you're looking at Heiken Ashi candles, there are two types for me. Transition, momentum. It's either transitioning or kicking into momentum. Transition candles are like these dojis, these small bodies with light. These are transition. Momentum are the ones with bigger bodies and no upper or no lower shadow. No upper or no lower shadow. So you can see that this was a momentum. This is a momentum. And a lot of times the momentum tend to go momentum, 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 all the way up. Is a tail the same as a shadow? Yes. Some people call them wicks. Some people call them tails. The actual technical term, don't ask me where it came from, is shadow. Shadows are the wicks, the tails. Yes, 100%. Okay, so there it is. Hope that makes sense. But again, let's bring it up whenever we need to. Okay, let's pop into Meta, I believe is where we were. Okay, Meta, we see you. What do we see? We see persona non grata. No interest in this. I'm not trying to catch any bottoms here. But now what do we see? Oh, hello, buyers. Well, what's good? What y'all got going on? What's going on down here? We're starting to catch some interest. I don't care if it gets all the way to 650, but wherever it goes, I'm thinking that is now enough of a first. That's the first half of what I need. I need to first see the buyers, but who's going to confirm if this is turning into what I want? The sellers. The sellers. And now we see this come down and we say, oh, if this drops, but it only drops to here, what do I have? I've got a higher low. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then I'm thinking to myself, now this thing's well below the moving averages. Would I still think about it? Quite honestly, yes. Why? Because it has the pattern of reversal, right? Don, that's a good look. What do we have here? We have a stochastics divergence. I have a low and a low. Then I have a lower low and a higher low. Subtle, but that's another thing that can help us to be like, oh, wait a second. Right? You can see the same kind of a thing right here and here. A little bit of a lower, maybe same low, but yeah, I like that. Good call. Here's another one. Boom, 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 boom. I believe we actually took that trade. And it went up and then paused and finished, and we made some money on that. If you go back to late August, I think we took that trade and made money on it. So there you go. Yeah. There's a lot of different ways to slice it and dice it in technical analysis. Morgan Stanley. I think I like Bank of America better, but this one's also sort of on my like, hey, who's going to maybe help financials find their way back into the fold? Micron, I'm thinking about Micron. Micron was like, ooh, did anyone think about Micron yesterday? It's still sort of in a viable spot, I think. And it is a leader in the chip space. It's been just an absolute monster. So if there was a tech stock, I'm thinking it's Micron. Netflix, no. Nvidia, no. Nvidia is what? You guys know what it is. You guys know. There's no like, oh, should we? Shouldn't we? Is it at the bottom? I don't care. I don't care. At this point, there's only one way for me to trade Nvidia. It's got to bust out, and then it's got to hold up. And that's it. Other than that, let's spectate. And yeah, I love Nvidia. Of course I do. Next. I don't know. This is an interesting one. It's kind of a maybe, like, was it a consolidation? Was it a pullback? Is it trying? If it were to do something like that, I would have to give that a good consideration. Palantir, no. Like NVIDIA, no. The Qs you can see today, struggling. And the entire tech market seems to be in this same predicament, in my opinion. My humble opinion. The Real, and it wasn't just that I loved saying it. It was nice looking. I saw an ad for the Real. Like I said, I'm gonna tell my daughter it's like up to 90% off. Fancy retail brands that she loves. Oh, maybe I should go with my wife and look at it for Christmas. I don't know. I thought that looked great. It's a strong stock, good trend, good turn, everything we like to see there. So looking good today. Roku. No. Remember, and this is something, I don't know if all of you caught this. As we broke the 50, I added the 100 and the 200. So I have more of a ribboned perspective. Right? More of a ribboned perspective. But we broke the 50, and then we broke the 100, and now it's sitting at the under of the 100. So yeah, that's sort of helpful to be like, yeah, that's more in a consolidation. Ross Stores, great earnings just recently. I would love to trade Ross Stores after it pulls back. Maybe it pulls back to the downside of this and it resumes this trend, but on the next level up. RTX, yeah, I'm gonna say I'm waiting on this one still too. Silver. No. SNDK. I gotta say, SNDK, it's a chopping, it's a shark frenzy. As I said before, be careful there. If anything, I liked STX and TER better, the little less volatility. It's not quite a tweezer hold yet, but if that red candle gets all the way down, that's a spooky back and forth right there. Snowflake? No. SoFi. I think we have better. I think BAC, if anything, if there's going to be a little bit of a pop in financials, for me, it's BAC. BAC, Micron, those are probably my favorite two today. S&P, it's trying. We'll see what it can do. STX, I don't know. STX looks okay too. Holding up on this little bounce signal. Teradyne, not as much, but similar. TJX. Maybe this thing wants to flag a little bit. I would love to see a catch maybe in this area, but I would definitely trade it. Looks good. It's strong. Tesla's dropping today. It's under the 50. TSM, no. Uber, no. I'm kicking Uber. I know there was a bunch of you trading it for a little while. I'm kicking it. You'll have to ask for it if you're still trading it. And that's fine. I'll bring it up. It's not like I won't do that. Wayfair. Ooh, Wayfair. The retail. Doing okay. Same kind of a thing right here. Right? WBD. Strong trend. Had a little bit of this kind of a pennant type consolidation. It's pinching here. If this got a little bit more, or tomorrow it gives one of these, I would say that's a good foray into the communication services since Google is so overextended. Western Digital. I would add WDC to STX and TER as far as like what are the storage solutions companies in the tech that I do like. And of course, last but not least, Walmart. Had a good earnings, and then it's just been kind of chopping since then. Let's let the dust settle. Let it figure it out. Questions, comments, concerns about any trade, any stocks I brought up, any stocks I didn't bring up. I will rattle through quickly the XLs, basic materials, just sort of loitering down below. Communication services. What happened to Fox? Did I look at Fox? I don't know why. I would actually say Fox is still kind of like a maybe, like a catching off the hiccup here. It looked like it was given a signal, then it like rolled, but I would say Fox. I keep saying Foxa. Fox Corp share A shares, but Fox is a maybe. And let's go back down. You can see communication services is fighting to regain some territory. We love that. Energy dropping. That's good. Financials. Come on, financials. You got to bust. You got to get through there. We need you. Industrials. Yeah. We're not seeing much there. They're trying. It's not a great day, especially when you're fighting tech. You can see tech is, struggling a bit still. Consumer staples. I don't love this. I would like to see this sort of just like meander sideways. I don't want to see consumer staples making a break because that would have me feeling like that's a defensive type move. Utilities is pretty stable right now, kind of sideways. Healthcare, good night. Healthcare just moving. Eli Lilly, a big part of that. Lastly, XLY, consumer discretionary. I think we found some good pieces, but there's a little bit of like momentum hope coming into the consumer discretionary space, in my opinion. All right. We made it through the watch lists, made it through the X's. Lastly, let's take a quick peek. Remind you that we are on section 5 this week. Let me highlight that a little better. Section 5, routines. What is the thought process here? We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is a habit. So make good habits. Habituate everything. Habituate every process. Habituate every routine. Daily, before market, during market, after market, weekly. Habituate your routines for technical analysis. Yada, yada, yada. That's what we're working on. 3 more sections to go. We'll finish it up. Then we'll start talking about how we can look to wheelbarrow. Love it. And then we will talk about how we can focus on each section that we're like saying, hey, you know what? What's weak? What's weak here? What's the weakest part of my plan? And I'll spend 2 or 3 weeks on that instead of just going week to week to week to week. Risk section, David said he knows. So he's going to spend 3 weeks at the beginning of the year, or the end of the year, just focusing on that. Love it. Thank you for sharing. All right. That's going to do it for me. It's my best day yet. Felt pretty good. Feeling pretty strong. I'll see you guys tonight at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Q&A. Let's talk about some things. Let's see what's going on. I'm going to go thank you, Don. I'm going to get some rest, get some protein. Thanks, everyone. See you soon. As always, happy trading.